Hello there, friends, and welcome back to more Bravely Default. Last time, we navigated the Twilight Ruins and found ourselves here in the western hidden village where Olivia was residing. Our reunion was brief, for it was interrupted by Victoria, who mercilessly killed the water vestal. Victoria would have killed us too if she wasn't put out of commission by some unknown defect, forcing her and Victor to retreat, letting us live to fight another day. Olivia's parting words told Agnes to awaken the water crystal herself, and that's what we're going to do today. So, let's leave this place. We have a lot of preparation to do beforehand. Our first step in preparation is Narende Village. So let's go ahead and take a look. We got the Cape Parts Shop upgrade. We got the Compound Shop upgrade, and we got some gifts from our item shops. What I'm gonna do here first is upgrade the Trader Shop so we can readily buy remedies. And the other thing I'm going to do today is continue to upgrade the Compound Shop for more compounds. Nothing too crazy today for Narende Village, but progress is progress. I made some adjustments to my gear loadout. First things first, I gave the power bracers to Idia instead of Tiz. I gave Agnes the white cape so it can nullify his silence. And I gave Tiz the rebuff locket, which will nullify charm. Ring Bell still has the peace ring, so nothing really has changed for him all that much. But I am going to check the shops real quick for any potential upgrades. I didn't see anything too good, but there are still some adjustments we have to make. While I'm equipping some parts to my special parts list, I do want to go ahead and talk about the events of the previous episode. As I'm not going to lie, I am not a big fan of that segment of the game. It's obviously amazing that we get to see Olivia in the game and that we get to at least see her talk for a little bit with Agnes since we worked the entire chapter to make that possible. But for her to immediately just die like that, it just annoys me a little bit. The biggest thing of all, it's not even Olivia's death. Olivia's death, okay, she was more of a plot device to drive Agnes to become more independent and willing to rely on others rather than just kind of wallowing in her own survivor's guilt, which she absolutely has, and it's very serious. But the biggest thing that vexes me is this game is, Bravely Default just in general, is very clever when it comes to how it handles the continuity of its story, both in main and side quests. Surprisingly, yeah, it actually is pretty smart at that. But the biggest thing that has always vexed me about that cutscene of us talking to Olivia is Olivia mentions that the Bloodrose Legion has been persecuting Florum for years, and it still is the reason why she's still on the run and not, currently residing in the Water Temple or in Florum itself. And the main crew is so taken aback by this, like they're surprised. We just took down every single member of the Bloodrose Legion before visiting the Twilight Ruins. Funnily enough, we have already seen multiple scenarios where the game will change dialogue, both voice-acted and not, depending on your progress. Einherja has different dialogue whether you defeated her first or you defeated her sisters first. It's just something that really, really annoys me. And also the fact that Olivia, someone we've been trying to make contact with for 2 whole chapters now, is just washed away like that. No pun intended. I'm not trying to be funny here. She's just completely removed from the story like that. It doesn't sit well for me, and it's definitely one of the times in this game where I definitely think this game missed the mark by a long shot. I really like Chapter 2, especially its side quests, but that whole segment does not land it for me. But enough of the negatives. There are a lot of positives with this chapter, so hopefully that doesn't sour the mood for anyone who's watching. I am going to buy a few remedies here, though, and also I don't have any balsams, I realized while I was maneuvering through the Twilight Ruins, so I actually am going to buy a few of these. They aren't going to be needed for a while, but I want to have them just in case I forget to buy them later down the road. Also, if you didn't notice, I equipped lightning parts on all of my characters and aquatic slaying. That'll come in handy. I think we're done in terms of preparation. So, let's go ahead and honor Olivia's final wish. And head south towards the water temple and awaken this. Because Olivia is now, unfortunately, deceased, the barrier around the water crystal has been destroyed. So, we are free to awaken it. Thankfully, we have no dungeon to maneuver here. It's just a straight shot. I highly suggest you talk to the adventurer here and save your progress. Because, as they say, it only gets worse from here on in. Alright, let's do this.
Wait, something isn't right. The air is charged. It's totally different from before.
Look, there, in the crystal! Rusalka! That's Rusalka, purveyor of doom!
It's the same as the last time.
We can't awaken the crystal until we're rid of the beast, Agnes! Then I have no choice. I must do this!
Rusalka, purveyor of doom. And I guess kind of the fiend of water, similar to Orthros being the fiend of wind. Anyway, Rusalka, this fight is a little fun. Fun as in, this fight hurts quite a bit. Rusalka is actually quite physical focused, despite being a water elemented enemy. First things first, what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up the sword magic, Thundara, and I'm also going to examine Rusalka. This is pretty important. Examine is actually really useful in this fight, for reasons you'll see here soon. Examine, 30,000 HP, weakness is lightning, and their family is aquatic. That's why I made all those changes to my special moves. The slow parry, there we go. I don't have to waste my turn using slow this turn. I was actually going to do that before Agnes thought for me. I actually think I'm going to use Grand Strike first turn, well, I guess second turn with Ring a Bell. I want to get my physical defense up as high as possible right now. So, Grand Strike will do that, and then we're going to have Idia default. Agnes, she has the Blessed Shield on, so she's going to be mainly doing most of the healing. But I am actually going to have her haste herself and then heal, because I want her to be either first in line when it comes to turns, or at least ahead of Rusalka. And then Tiz, I'm going to have you default as well. I want to get your BP higher. There's the haste and the blessing. We saw Rusalka do Akarega right there, where Akarega will lower their defense by 25%, 5,000 damage, wow. Lower their physical defense by 25%, as we saw just right there. And that's pretty dangerous. Again, Rusalka's physical focus, so having lower physical defense is not a good thing. We're going to have Ring a Bell Ironclad here because of that, and then we'll have him hit. And I think I'm also going to use Idia's Horizon, and then I actually think that'll be it. And then I'm going to have Agnes do Blessed Shield, because I want everyone to be topped up. That is for sure, want everyone topped up. And then Tiz, I'm going to have you use Aquatic Slayer, because you have it, and thankfully that does extra damage. Aquatic Slayer, 1300, 1300. There's Horizon, this will keep the special bonuses going. We have higher crit now, and 5,600 damage. Rusalka's nearly halfway dead already, but this boss still has a few things up their sleeve. We're going to have everyone else default except for Agnes. There's Seep. This is Rusalka's other main gimmick. I'm going to have everyone default here. This is super important. Default. Damage. Seep does a crap ton of damage to everyone in the party. Physical damage at that. And it hurts a lot. But thankfully, also Rusalka makes clones of herself. But thankfully, because of Examine, we can see which one's the real Rusalka. Normally, if you don't have Examine on, you can't. But because we did, Idia is able to sweep them down and also hit the real one for a lot of extra damage. Agnes, you don't have haste up, but hopefully you can get your heals off in time and also slow down the real Rusalka, which is the second one in line. And then I'm gonna have Tiz default. Oh, don't. Okay, there's slow parry. Rusalka also has the ability to charm us, which is why I have the rebuff locket on Tiz. But if Rusalka gets a hold of anyone other than Tiz, it's still not going to be very good. But wow, look at that damage. Weakness plus the Lubu's spear creates lots of damage. We're going to have Tiz just go ahead and set up another special before Idia's runs out. And this might actually kill. 7,400 damage! Wow! There's Aqua Rega again. Alright, Agnes. You know what, Agnes? You get the final blow. The boss has 1,500 HP. I don't think you can actually deal that in Magic, so you get to use some Zeus's Wrath. Everyone else default. Finish it off, Agnes. And that's the battle against Rusalka. Pretty much the biggest hurdle here is the Seep plus the attack from whenever Rusalka comes back up. But if you default and have defense ups, like special moves, or Ironclad or Protect from White Mage, you'll be okay. I also made sure I had a Valkyrie for this encounter so I could just sweep through the clones. You can also use Black Mage's Thundara to reach a similar effect. But 3,600 PEG, 1,800 EXP, and 180 JP. That's quite the bonus for beating this hard boss. We got everyone a level up to 31, and Agnes gained a job level and got MP free in a pinch. Idia gained a job level and got Soul Crush. And we also got a Turbo Ether for our troubles.
Good. We're ready to begin the rite. All set, Agnes? I'll go over the process for the ritual once more, just to be sure. To awaken it, you must set your own life force to resonate with the crystal's natural rhythm. Focus your prayers on the crystal and don't stop, Agnes. If it works as it should, we'll soon see dramatic results. I know I said it before, but be sure you don't stop before it's done. Keep praying until I give the signal to stop, no matter what. The flow of the crystal's energy could reverse and explode out of control. Is all of that clear, Agnes?
I understand. You needn't repeat yourself.
Agnes. If it does go berserk, do we get a second chance at the ritual?
No second chances, which is why it's so important you all stay out. All right, Agnes, let's begin.
Right.
Not yet! Just a little longer! More! Keep going! Still not enough! You can do this! Stop! That's it! Yes! It's done! The water crystal is awakened! You did amazing, Agnes!
Agnes! Are you alright? She's completely exhausted.
I'm fine. No cause for worry. That makes 2 crystals.
We're halfway there.
Agnes, you need to rest. You've been pushing yourself this whole time.
I told you. I'm fine. Please, spare me your concern. I have to do this. I have to do it alone.
Lady Matriarch, the sea! Its waters are clearing!
Oh, it's the guidance of the Vestal. Praise be to her.
2 down, 2 to go. If only Olivia could see this moment now, but I'm sure she's proud wherever she is. Let's go back to the matriarch and tell her the good news.
Oh, Lady Vestal, the oceans herald your return to us. I take it for a sign the water crystal, too, is returned to its pure state. What joy! And the Vestal of Water, is she not with you as well?
Olivia Oblige, Vestal of Water, has given her life in the service of the crystals.
No, but that can't. I had thought certainly the clearing waters were her doing. Lost to us, gone from this world. What is Florum to do now? It is by your efforts Florum is spared from the Blood Rose Legion's venom. I give you the thanks of all Florum's people in the Vestal of Water's stead. The nation will not return to its chaste and proper ways overnight, I'm certain. But once a new Vestal is chosen, the people's hearts will unite behind her. Might I ask where your travels take you next, Lady Vestal?
I was told the Vestal of Fire is deceased. I must hurry to the fire crystal's side.
I see. Then beyond the sea, to Eisenberg and the Temple of Fire. If you follow the waters west of here, ever west, you will find it. First, cross the Miasma Woods, then to the shore of the inner sea. I shall make a mark of it upon your map. The seas are only newly tamed, and the journey is long. I pray you will be safe.
The pendant. Are you alright, Agnes? If you're forcing yourself, you don't... Are you so worried about me? Do I make you so worried? Of course I'm worried about you. After what happened, how could I not be? I am fine. I haven't the luxury of stopping to mope. When we first met, you were praying to that pendant of yours, weren't you? This? The sage gave this to me when I was a child. He said something I didn't properly understand, then handed it to me. What did he say? Have the courage to think and act on your own. And the courage to disobey as well. And should you ever face a danger beyond all hope, this pendant will be your salvation. What do you think he meant? I had no idea at the time. Even now, I cannot say that I understand any better. The sage is a mysterious man, but I trust his words were true. Now, that's enough talk. We ought to be moving. I trust that the matriarch can hold true to her word and help Florum heal and go back to the way it once was. A nation of chaste, honorable women who were believers in the orthodoxy and didn't drown themselves in vanity as they do now. This city visually is very pretty, and I like it a lot, but I do still wonder from time to time what this place would have looked like if we got to see it as Agnes had described it so long ago. Wow. It's been quite a few episodes, hasn't it? But our time here in Florum has been nice, question mark? But I think it is time for us to move on. So Florum, you were a great host, but like all good things, you know, they all have to come to an end. So, let's head back through the Miasma Woods and back to the Echelot. I'll see you guys back there. And yes, if you were wondering, you actually do have to go through the entire dungeon again. Alright, back on the other side of the Miasma Woods. The Ansheim Desert. I guess it's kind of nostalgic. It's been a while since we've seen Ansheim. But we're not going to loiter around too long. We're gonna go say hi to the Echelot.
Shall I cast off then?
Please.
With the water crystal awakened, it's not just this inner sea that is fully navigable. It's the entire ocean. So, let's set out on open waters.
Dark mood for a nice day's sailing.
Agnes, forgive me.
For what?
What happened to Olivia? I am partly to blame.
You may have fought for the duchy, but you've nothing to do with the one who killed Olivia.
But I do. That monster, the one they call the witch, Victoria. I knew of her.
Just who are you, Adia? Before, when that man attacked, Alternus, you knew him. Better than a simple soldier of the Sky Knights ought.
I hadn't intended to hide who I am, but I should have told you sooner. My father is Grand Marshal of the Eternian Forces, leader of the Council of Six.
What?
If the Council is in charge, and he leads the Council, your father's the head of the whole duchy!
Then the order to assassinate the Vestal of Water came from your father?
I don't know. I don't know. I can't blame you if you blame me for it, though.
You don't... You intend to stand there and feign heartache and innocence both? Perhaps it was you who communicated Olivia's hiding place to the duchy?
That's not... I wouldn't!
Perhaps you were a spy this whole time, deceiving us even now!
Anya, stop! We fought this far together. That means something. Don't doubt it.
Excuse me. I need rest. I ask that you leave me alone a while.
We're crossing into open water.
Over here, everyone!
Feast your eyes upon this.
What's the matter?
Oh.
Oh my.
10-7. 3 days the boy has stayed at the inn, and still no sign of waking. The innkeep says he's run a fever the entire time. This afternoon is a warm one. Now I'm watching the innkeep nod off at the counter. The aftershocks have stopped, and peace is slowly returning to the city, but a shadow lingers over the earth, the sky, and the townspeople's hearts. Glancing through the window, I saw people motioning toward the port. Another merchant ship, I thought? But no. Their shouts were anxious, not excited. I stepped outside. Following the gaze of the others in the street, I saw a merchant vessel drifting into port. But something was wrong. The ship was listing hard, its aft mast broken. I sprinted down the hill. As I ran, I noticed a dark, heavy color spreading through the water from the mouth of the bay inward. I caught snippets as I passed. The sea's begun to rot. Ships can't leave the bay. No fish in the last few days. A few days? Then the change began when the quake hit. The ship listed further, rescue boats surrounding it. Most of the cargo had already been cast overboard. When the boats reached the pier, a parade of passengers and crew emerged, each looking more exhausted than the next. By some miracle, there were no lives lost, though most of the freight followed the ship to the bottom of the bay. The merchants mourned their lost profits, and the crew their vessel. The seamen had lost their sea, and the passengers were now stranded. Despair ran rampant. Except for one young girl. She was full of questions about the quake 4 days prior, about the flash that lit the sky, about Norende. Did you know someone in the village? Family, perhaps? Her jaw set at my query. Was it anger? Fear? She wordlessly shook her head from side to side. No, I just figured hearing you ask about the quake so soon after weathering the sea, I thought maybe you were a friend of that boy's. Boy? What boy? Came her reply. Suspicion played on her face, but as the next boat reached the pier, we were shooed out of the harbor. Another visitor from Ansheim, huh? You must be tired. Why don't you stay with us till you're settled? I recall a different sort of greeting. I cast a sour smile his way, and he responded with a grin. We've a sick one in the back. I hope you won't mind. The girl replied with a nod. Her name, I learned, was Agnes. She seems guarded about her past. Not that I can talk. Conversation continues to be awkward. She shows interest in what was happening in this country when the quake hit. For my part, I ask her about the sea. Her ship had left before the earthquake struck. She says about halfway between Ansheim and Kaldisla, their pace began to slow. The seawater clouded, and dead fish began to float to the surface. First small ones, then larger. It was pure luck that the ship drifted before going calm. Other vessels they passed in the bay, she reported, were less fortunate. She listened as I recounted what happened in the canyon, the color draining from her face. I told her the village was likely at the quake's epicenter, and that monsters had flooded the area in its wake. We talked late into the night.